Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about how I feel about being diagnosed with autism for 6 years, plus my many achievements that I've managed to do. So I've got my notes here next to me just to keep myself on track with the topic. So I hope you enjoyed. This is how do I feel about being diagnosed 6 years and the achievements that I've got. So welcome back to my channel. And today I thought I'd chat through about how I feel about being diagnosed for 6 years and what I've achieved during that time. Being diagnosed in my late 20s was hard, but at the same time it gave me time to understand why I've always been different, why I've always stood out. My life has been a roller coaster, if you like, with going up and down the emotions ladder and having to process how to effectively communicate, learn to make friends, how to maintain my friendships. And it's kind of helped me to learn how to see the world in a new magical perspective. So I've been able to see the world from a new perspective. I've been able to feel myself and and at first I was very confused and hurt. When I first got diagnosed with autism, I was very, very angry. I cried for weeks upon weeks upon weeks upon weeks. And then all of a sudden I decided, instead of letting that hurt and emotion take over, that I would then turn it into being positive action. So I decided to get involved in local campaigning, local speaking about what autism means to me, what it means to be diagnosed. So I started researching autism online and which parts of the triad I could relate to. So I ended up scoring quite a lot on the autism spectrum test, and I identified with the loud noises, the crowds, the smell, and being afraid to be socially the right way. And it helped to shape the person who I am today, receiving my diagnosis. It's helped me to learn that I am okay as a person, that I can do things for myself, that I am an independent person now. I've gone from being this very, very timid, withheld person and frightened person to this really strong, mostly confident woman. Yes, I still struggle with my confidence, my self-esteem, believing in myself, being able to tell the world about myself. But I feel since being diagnosed, it's really helped me to shape who I am, my opinions, my views on the world, what I agree and what I don't agree with. So I thought I'd talk about that. So in 6 years, what have I come to know about myself? In 6 years, I've really learned to be myself. I've learned that I can appreciate myself. I can be proud of what I've done. I feel that it's the best thing to happen to me. I've learned to understand why I've always been socially awkward and difficult, and why my confidence has always taken a beating. I've always learned now that strategies are the most important thing to me personally, as someone on the autistic spectrum. I've learned that putting my jewellery to the test, wearing things like sunglasses or even hats to make me feel more confident, can help me to keep focused and give me something to focus on. Also, people still say to me since my diagnosis, "Oh, is Gemma really autistic?" She doesn't act it, like she doesn't come across like she's autistic on camera, or she doesn't act like she's struggling. But you guys in my head, you have no idea how much right now I'm panicking about mucking up this video. And yeah, so in the last 6 years, I've been able to be who I am. I've processed the wrong way and right way of communicating. I've been able to be my total self. And yes, I know that I'm still a vulnerable person. I still am naive in some senses. I still have to be socially appropriate. I still have to learn to socially communicate appropriately and where people's barriers are. I still am learning what it's like to be on the autistic spectrum. I'm still learning every day of the right things and the wrong things to do. And I can fully explain that I'm passionate about telling you who I am. I've got to understand that I am a good person. I'm not a bad person. I'm someone who's had a late diagnosis in my life. So to be diagnosed in my late 20s, like I say, was a shock. I've kind of had to fit in all these years of being a person who was always socially awkward and was bullied, didn't really believe in herself, didn't know where her place was in the world, hasn't really explored about where she fits in with relationships, whether that's friendships or sexual relationships or professional friendships, stuff like that. So again, it's about educating myself and knowing people's perceptions may be a bit assumptuous about me. They may feel that I'm being this typical autistic person, but once you've met one autistic person, that's one person with autism that you've met. I'm completely different because I have some areas of the triad I meet really well and some areas that I don't. So it's difficult to assess where I am on the actual spectrum and how I can effectively communicate with you. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you about that. And being a woman on the autistic spectrum is really difficult because being a woman, you don't always know what is the most sensible way of telling people, because a lot of people assume that people with autism are males because the behaviour is more noticeable in males and young men rather than females, because females like me mask. We mask to such an extent that we come across as neurotypical quite well because we're able to socially fit in, we're able to socially communicate, we're able to give our views and opinions in a socially appropriate manner. And that's not the case for all of us all the time. So if someone like me, I sometimes do really struggle with telling my opinion. Sometimes I do get in trouble for it because people are like, oh, Gemma, that was a bit rude. That was a bit direct. You shouldn't have said that. So for me, it's that appropriate communication. It's about the fact that I shouldn't have to struggle with telling how I feel, but sometimes it's knowing when to say it. Since receiving my diagnosis, my life has changed for the better. I've really learnt to come out of my shell. I've learnt to trust people. I've built up really special friendships. And then friendships are always going to be part of my life, whether they're going to be a long-term friendship, a short-term friendship. I'm still grateful that I have them friends. And I'm really glad that being autistic makes me see the world a lot differently from the neurotypical perspective. It gives me a lot of new ways of processing things, and it's given me my identity, my purpose, my calling, and if I can help other people, then that's the best thing for it. So I'm going to wrap this up now and say thank you so much for watching. Please give it a like, please comment, please share, and please subscribe to my channel. Bye guys.